Jai Gurudev, everybody. So welcome again to Brindavan. So today, firstly, I wanted to wish all of you happy Yamuna Jayanti. It's the appearance day of Yamuna Maharani. And today was funny. We had a funny experience, actually. You see, every day we've been doing all the prayers with everybody sitting. You know, there's certain laws right now because of the coronavirus. And but here we try, but you know how it is with people now. So we've been sitting very close to each another, and of course, you see, the law is everywhere the same, but there should be a certain distance with people, and only few people can be around. So it was funny. We were celebrating Yamuna Jayanti by doing Abhishek on the Yamuna Shila, and we had the visit of the police, who came and said to us, you know very well that because of the virus, should not do all these things. And actually, it was okay. They were not. They were just doing their job, Other reminder that we should not have gathering like that, even for prayer. It's amazing, huh? But you see, for security reason, it is important, because there was one Sikh guru a few days ago passed away. He was traveling in Europe, and he came to India, and he went around 20 villages giving his satsang and so on, and he infected more than 15,000 people. So you see, I think for that, it is obvious that the government, is taking precaution. But it was funny that there was only 2 persons inside serving Yamuna Maharani. But it's also a reminder that everybody have to take time right now to go inward, also here. So everything has become very quiet and very shanti everywhere. You don't even see people, anybody around. But one thing is beautiful, you can hear the birds singing. The birds are singing everywhere. It's amazing, because in Vrindavan, before, you never hear birds singing. And here you see birds flying around, and nature is blooming, and this is nice. And yesterday I was saying to Swami Revati, I think the government in all country, whether it is coronavirus or not, they should put their country on 2 weeks of lockdown. It's an idea, it's a good idea or not, but when you see how nature is, without pollution, I was asking some devotee from Delhi, how is it there? They said, oh, we have blue sky, which in Delhi is I have never seen. Even they have never seen. And they were saying, oh, it's amazing that we have blue sky, the air is more fresh, and you can breathe. Also here in Brindavan is the same. This time, normally would have been terrible. I remember last year when I came here in Brindavan, there were pollution already in Delhi. People were wearing masks, but not because of the virus, but because of the pollution. And this year, it is different kind why people are wearing masks. It's amazing, and it is amazing to see. For one which have been there destroying the world, the mind of human, for them, it is terrible. Especially to see the fearfulness of people People goes around their life filled with fear. Fear, when you see the craze, why people, it's a bit strange. One thing is, what is the most strange is this toilet paper thing. The craze of toilet paper. People doesn't have fear that they don't have food, but they fear with what they will clean their ass. It's like coronavirus have create a certain thing is that, now I will decide to shit. So for that we need a lot of toilet paper. So it's a strange, which kind of fear is that? It's a fear of toilet paper. It's a bit crazy, isn't it? They're all laughing. I wanted to whatever message every day I receive, there's always about toilet paper. It's like everybody decided now we will just shit. Nothing else is important. Sorry. It's funny. But you see what fear is doing in the mind of people. Actually you don't need to have fear. Relax yourself. You see, there, like Krishna said, there is a time to be born and there is a time to die. Most of the thing that is happening, I think, is mostly fear in the people's mind, which is making this happen. So relax yourself, take your precaution and chant the name of God. Chant the name of Ram. This time now is a time where we are celebrating, we are moving towards the birth of Lord Rama. I think we are on the 4th day today. So take this time to meditate upon the life of Lord Rama, to read about him. You have time now. Read about his life, especially about what he stand. So, what will I say? I will ask Swami Revati to ask the question.
Dear Guruji, how can we balance our feminine and masculine qualities inside of us?
This is a question which very often people have. You see, in some people, the feminine quality is more stronger, and in some people, the masculine quality is more stronger. So to bring a balance of that, it comes to a point of accepting yourself, how you are. What quality is predominant inside of you, this is how you are. You don't need to be different. You see, if somebody have a problem with you being different, then it is not your problem. It is their problem. So learn to accept yourself. By accepting yourself, you'll be free. They say, the problem is that, you see, very often we are bothered about, like I said in previously, what others think about us. They say, so the judgment of others. So throughout our life, we go and live our life, 90% we live our life what others want us to live. So are you really yourself? No, you're not. Let's analyze that and see. Throughout, when you were small, you have been taught how you have to be. And if you don't fit in certain norms, you will be considered as an outcast. But who consider that? Is it you or it is others? Others most of the time consider that. So like that 90% of your life you live what other people want you to live. So how can you be free? You can't be free. Because you see, in your mind you have this precept of good and bad. Like Shakespeare said, there is no good, there is no bad. It is only the thinking. How do you perceive it? How you are seeing yourself. That determines which energy will prevail inside of you. You see, everybody have this two quality inside of them. There is no such thing as just pure male or pure female. You are a fusion of both male and female. In the Hindu tradition, we said that our left side is the feminine quality and our right side is the male quality. And you see that clearly, that the predominant, most majority, whether you're man or woman, your right side is more stronger than your left side. And you will see that the organs also, the heart, which is the organs of feeling, is on the left side. So it is more the sensitive side. So when you view yourself, whether you have a predominant male quality or female quality, this is not who you are. You are not this quality. That you should never forget. You are that Atma. And Atma is beyond the gender quality. You can't say this Atma is male or that Atma is female. No, Atma is just Atma. There is no male Atma or female Atma. So in some bodies, the Atma have been in a female body. In some life, the Atma have been in a female body, and in some life, the Atma have been in male body. The question is not about the gender, it's about who are you? What are you identifying yourself? Are you identifying yourself only to the gender, whether you are male or female, or you want to realize yourself and awake from that delusion of what the world have made about? So you are firstly Atma. Secondly, you are a human being. However God have created you, He have created you the way you are. And in His creation, like I have said before, there is not imperfection in His creation. He have created you perfect. So the moment you learn to accept that you are how God have created you, automatically the balance between that two energy happen. Because you have self-acceptance. The moment you have self-acceptance, nothing can move you. So love yourself how you are, accept yourself how you are, and be happy that you are unique and that God loves you how He have created you.
Guruji, in your Bhagavad Gita commentaries, you say that Bhishma, Dhritarashtra, and all those present at the humiliation of Draupadi had a distorted understanding of their dharma and the honor of their word. But to me, Rama essentially does the same thing with Sita. Knowing her purity and fidelity, he casts her out, pregnant with his children, to the forest just for the sake of following certain rules and tradition. Bhishma and the others are criticized, yet Rama is an example of righteousness and following Dharma. Could you please explain this for me?
Well, we can't really categorize Rama and Bhishma and Dronacharya, all these things in the same category. Even if it seems similar, you see, when Rama sent Sita to the forest, he didn't know that Sita was pregnant, firstly. And Rama didn't do it for the sake, oh yeah, look, I'm safeguarding my prestige, you know, that's why I'm sending my wife away. This wife which I took 14 years to look for her, you know, when she was kidnapped, that dragged me crazy. Do you think just like that he will send him away? No, you see. You have to, like I was explaining about that few days ago while they were reading the Ramayana, you know, how much pain that Ram have to say, yes, my dear wife, you know, I have to send you away. Yeah. But Sita knew that it is for the good of the kingdom. Now we come back to Bhishma, Dronacharya and so on. You see, these are the grand seer. Ram was a king. So these are the grand seer. And as you know about Bhishma, before that incident of Draupadi being dragged into the court, he promised Duryodhana, you know, that he will stand always faithful to the throne and that he will not say anything. Krishna reminded him of that. He said, no. You see, being a grand seer, you can break even your words. You know, in time of, if you have to protect the dignity of someone, you can always revocate what you have promised. You know, because this is beyond the, it's inhuman. So if you see that they are, removing the clothes of, how you say?
Disrobing?
Yeah. Somebody in front openly, you will sit there and watch, you will not react. You know, as a grand seer, as a grandfather, you know, as an elderly person, you should have opened your mouth and say it is wrong. But he didn't do. They didn't do. How they did? They just put their head down, being helpless completely. So, Rama, comparing this to Rama, this happened that, you know the story, but Rama was going around in his kingdom and there was this washer, a clothes washer, and his wife went with somebody else. And then he was telling to his wife, look, I am not so merciful like Rama. For me, it is, you have gone with somebody else, so it's finished. Take your stuff and go. Rama, he have led Sita with Ravana for so many years. But yet he took Sita. But one thing they forget, you see, very often in this, whenever I have this question, people doesn't realize, they have not read the Ramayana fully. You see, the Sita which went to Ravana palace actually was a copy of Sita. You see, the first copying, cloning actually. So it so happened that Ram, when he was in the forest, he asked Agnidev to look after Sita. And out of Sita's shadow, another image of Sita came out. So that shadow of Sita went to Lanka. This was that what Ravana kidnapped. But very often this story, this Leela, has ignored. They said, oh yeah, it is Sita who went there. Actually, it is the copy of Sita that went to Lanka. And one thing in Lanka, let's observe Ravana now. Ravana, even being lustful, because that's how he was looking at Sita. He desired to marry Sita. He kidnapped Sita because of that. First time when he wanted to lay his hand upon Sita, there was a voice said, if you ever touch her, you will die. Ravana remind himself of that. So Ravana was not a bad person who was treating her in a very bad way. When Sita was in the Ashoka garden, Ravana every day will try to come and do his advance towards Sita, but he will never force himself upon her. How it will be nowadays? Nowadays, if that would have been, poor Sita, sorry, forgive me, probably she would have already been raped. But no, Ravana didn't do that. He was very powerful. He could have jumped on her and do whatever he wants to satisfy himself. But no. He tried so many times, to impress Sita. He tried so many times to give fear to Sita, saying that he have killed Rama, through some illusion he have brought the head of Ram. But of course Sita was, even being the shadow of Sita, she was in the remembrance of Lord Ram. She was fully absorbed in the remembrance of Lord Ram. So to prove that again, after Ram had killed Ravana and Sita was there, so they brought Sita, one will expect that Ram will be joyful and run like in the Indian Bollywood movie and jump into the arm of his beloved, who he have come to get. No, it was not like that. Ram, what he said at that moment, he said, wait. And everybody was shocked. He said, she have to go through Agni Pariksha. Meaning, if she had been an unfaithful wife being into that house of Ravana for all these years, if she had been tarnished, she will get burned. So they made this pie, and of course everybody was shocked. Why is he talking about that? So Sita was sat on that pie, and as the fire was lit, Agnidev, the fire god, appeared, and with him there were another Sita. And that Sita disappeared. The shadow of Sita disappeared. So Agnidev said, Rama, take your wife. She is chaste and pure. Ravana had never ever laid a finger upon her. Even while kidnapping her, he was dragging her, touching, putting a finger on her, meaning not in a bad way, I'm talking about, in a, naughty way. So, where was I? So you see, Sita was brought chaste there. And for Ram, she knew about it. And also when he sent her to the forest, after hearing what the Dhobi was saying, it was not out of joy, because he wanted to set an example. Then that's why, with a heavy heart, he asked Lakshman to bring her to the forest. But he didn't know that Sita was pregnant. Then you know about Love Kush and how Valmiki took Sita, and how again Ram was reminded of Sita and so on. But Ram, when we analyze his life, really, why we say that Ram is an example, it is how he handled every matter of his kingdom. Before he think about himself, he think about his people, not his throne. If he was thinking about his throne, he will have fight already when Dashrath said to him to go for 14 years into exile. No, he didn't think about his throne. He was not protecting his throne. He was protecting his dharma, He was doing what must be done for the welfare of society. So that's why, for him to send his wife for the sake of his, not his reputation, but his kingdom, so that he wanted to set an example of that. But whereas Bhishma and Drona, all this, they were not setting any example. They were just helpless. They have rendered themselves helpless. So for which work were they doing? You see, one was doing his own work for the sake of his people. The others, they were just bothering about to protect kingdom. Just their own promise, their own reputation. So there's a big difference between the two.
Guruji, often when I speak about our Vaishnava path with people, I see how I often have the tendency to dilute or even hide some teachings to make it more acceptable to the people. But afterwards, I don't feel good. What can you advise me to do? Adapt the teachings to people or just speak it how it is properly?
Look, firstly, when you are approaching people and you want to talk about your path, like I have said it a few days ago, I have said you have to put it in a way that the person can understand. That doesn't mean that you should hide that you are Hindu, that you are in a Vaishnava path. That you should say. But put it in a way that take that person from what they understand and what you really want to give them. Journey them, take them on a journey which from their point of view, how they see, to how you see. So you don't need to feel bad if the first time you're talking about your spiritual path, It's normal. Very often people feel a bit awkward, thinking, if I open myself fully, they will think that I'm crazy. And also one thing is that, if you start talking about the Vaishnava path, if you know really about your path, there is certain concept which it is alien to them completely. They will not understand what are you talking about. So in place of really encouraging them to go on the spiritual path, you may discourage them of going on the spiritual path because it will be too much for them. So that's why you have to go slowly and speak their language. Take them on this journey until you can really give them what you have inside of you. But for that, one thing is that you have to educate yourself also. Knowledge is important. Every day I'm reminding you. Otherwise, it will be difficult.
Guruji, in the spiritual path, we are taught that it is good to spend time with like-minded people and people on the same spiritual path. However, some of my closest friends are those that are not on the spiritual path and who are not even vegetarians. I feel like these people are more genuine and are better people than those that are actually on the spiritual path. Is this wrong of me to feel this way?
No, it's not wrong. Actually, I said it also often that I have met some good people on the spiritual path, but I have met the worst one also on the spiritual path. Because you see, very often on the spiritual path, the sad part of that is that people like to pretend, that they are very holy and they are very more superior than somebody else. So this is a danger, actually. When spiritual pride arises, and this is where one falls even further down. So it is not wrong. I don't find it wrong that you have friends and people which is dear to you, which is not on the spiritual path and don't understand the spiritual path, or which is not even vegetarian. But one thing is that you are the light which shine in the darkness. Very often people are sitting in the darkness of ignorance. They don't know anything about. But by being near to them, you can share what you have inside of you, whether directly or indirectly. So firstly, what I will say, you become strong in your spiritual path. Because you see, to be in the surrounding or company of like-minded people, which means if you are not strong enough, sooner or later, you will fall back. Whether you want it or not, because your weakness inside will catch up. And that's what you have to be very careful of. That's why when we say, if you are on the spiritual path, be among like-minded people. Which means, firstly, strengthen yourself. Become strong in your path, become strong in your aim, become strong in your spiritual endeavor. Then go and help others. As long as you are not strong, a little temptation will make you fall back. And this I have seen many, also people who have taken initiation. They will say, yes, we are devotee, we are wearing the Kantimala, and then you see on their Facebook with a bottle of wine, which they should know very clearly that this is not right. So you see how when one is not strong, they fall back again into their old samskaras. So first, you have to become strong. So you have to become really anchored into your faith, anchored into your discipline. That doesn't mean that you can't say hello to your friend. You can't drink a tea or whatever with your friend, So this you can do. But don't give it much importance until you are strong enough to share your spiritual life. Because otherwise, from where you are, you will again fall back. So, like that, you see, like Krishna said, chapter 3, verse, verse 9. He said, you see, in this world, whatever we do, we create karma. But there is certain thing that we do in the state of sacrifice, but act as, when we do these things, it becomes liberation. It liberates you. So you see, whatever we do, sorry, in this world, it is through our mind. No? And when we do it, we do get attached to things. So through the attachment that we do, we received, we build up such a big wall that what we have inside doesn't shine. So, you see, that state of what you're doing in life, if you are on your spiritual path, you are here to bring something deeper, something greater. If you are not here to create more karmic things to bring you down, no? You're here to be free. But how would you be free if you here you're weak? If in your faith you're weak, it's very difficult. So firstly, you have to understand that everything you're doing it for the service of the Lord. And this is a state of mind, if you do, then you will not create any attachment. You will not create any degradation, because you see, you become such a presence that you will be there only to elevate. If your presence can't transform somebody, that means that you have to strengthen yourself still. You have to become more strong into your path. There is a beautiful story, of such sacrifice, such way of service, being into the world, but yet keep reminding oneself of that everything here which God have given us is only for His pleasure, for His service. But our life itself is here for His service. You see, as we are talking about Ram, there is a Raghu, because Ram comes from Raghu dynasty, the descendant of Lord Rama. He was a wonderful king, a great king. Yeah. So after he had done his duty as a king, he said, okay, whatever I have done was not for me. It was for the society, was for God. Because everything that I have done was only as service. This has been given to me, which I have to give back to Him. So his understanding of his life itself was a life of surrender, a life of continuous reminding of that he is here to serve God. And everything that he had done, it is for the sake of God. So after he had finished his, his service, he decided to do one sacrifice, one yajna. And this yajna is a yajna of giving everything that you have back to society. So he did this yajna. After the yajna, he gave all his possession to his people, to the community, to the people. Then he dressed himself with a rag and a begging bowl, and he left. So when he left, he would go around begging for his food. A king which had everything. You see, he remind himself that it is like water, you know. The water, you know, it is coming, you know, it is on earth. It evaporates, it go to heaven, to heaven, I mean, to the cloud. You know, he go up at how say, water vapor. He get condenses, and he came back again to the earth as water, as rain. So he remember that everything that he have received here in this world, you see, it is for the service. You know, he's just here as a how say, to look after, like a manager, to manage it only. But everything belonged to God. So he left everything and he went. So one fine day, as he was begging and he felt tired, he lied down next to a tree. As he lied down next to the tree, he overheard some people talking. And some people were talking, was saying, how great is King Raghu, who have renounced everything just like that and went away. You know, it's so great, we have a wonderful king, you know. So he overheard and he said, what are you talking about, this Raghu? And with a tone he said, you know, of course the people didn't recognize him, but it was the king himself, because he was like a beggar. And said, why are you saying that in such a tone like this, you know? Said, yeah, I'm saying it. Can you go and ask your king, with what have he come? To claim that he have given everything away. Go and tell this to your king. You know, your king was born with empty-handed. Like Krishna said in the Gita, you were born empty-handed. Everything that you took it from this world, and you will have to leave everything back into this world. So King Raghu in the form of the beggar, he said, go and ask your king. You see, what have he bring into this world that he have renounced? Yeah. So you see, everything that we took it from here. Yeah, and everything will stay here. But if you could transform the life of somebody, see, if you could make a difference in the life of someone in a better way, bring them closer to the divine, yes, you know, same as the previous question, you know, which Swami Ravati was saying, you know, if I can't speak my spiritual path directly to the person first, you know, I have to speak their language, but I feel bad inside of me. But the same thing, you see, it's no wrong to be among people which is, how to say, friends of yours, and which is non-vegetarian and so on. But remind yourself continuously where you stand. What is your, how to say, what can you give to them? That's what you have to strengthen inside of you. And when that becomes strong inside of you, nothing can move you. You will be anchored so strongly, but you will start transforming the life of those people. Because you see, being a devotee, you shine differently. Your action is different. You have a certain glow inside of you, which is completely different from a mundane person. A mundane person, due to the fear of life, due to the fear of wanting this, wanting that, they have a different understanding. So they don't have that glow which shine within themselves. Like I said earlier, they have built a wall so thick that not even the light of the Atma could shine through. They don't even have a glimpse of that. But whereas being a devotee, you have a glimpse of that. Through the grace of the Lord, through the grace of Guru, you have had that glimpse inside of your life for the transformation of your life. So become stronger. And it's true, very often you will perceive that people of the world are more joyful and happy, more understanding than spiritual people. Because you see, spiritual people have closed themselves in a narrow box and thinking that they are so special. That's why in place they have not get really what spirituality is. Because spirituality, when you say you are spiritual, you have a broader way of seeing life. You see, you have a broader way of understanding of people. There is no judgment. Sadly, that many people on the spiritual path, they have that opposite. But whereas people which is in the world, they have the quality of having more understanding and being more happy. But are they truly happy? Are they truly having an understanding of life itself? I don't think so. They're still searching. And if God have brought you to them, what I will ask you again, become stronger, that you can share what you have inside of you. Jai Gurudev.